This is the Harley Benton Dullahan. Harley Benton's take on the headless guitar on a budget with pro sounding specs like stainless steel frets, roasted maple neck, proper Roswell pickups, and just overall a very nice design and build quality. But is it actually worth your money? Let's find out. Well, hello there, Vlad here. Welcome to my studio. Let's cut to the chase. We are checking out the Harley Benton Dullahan. The exact model is Dullahan-FT 24 roasted DB. DB starts for Daphne Blue Satin. In my case, I specifically asked for the satin finish because it just looks really nice. And before we move on, I have to mention this is considered sponsored content. I get to keep the guitar for doing this video. But as my long-term viewers know, whether the video is sponsored or not, you always get my honest opinion because that's the only way that makes sense to do this stuff. But back to the guitar, the Thomann website says that this is an older body. They also specifically mentioned that it's an ergonomically shaped body, but we're gonna come back to that a bit later in the video. Roasted maple neck, black offset dot fretboard inlays. Yep, you can see them here. There's dots here as well. The Thomann website calls this neck profile Modern C. And I wouldn't say it's super thin though. It's not chunky by no means, but not thin either. I think it's a good compromise that should fit a lot of players. Like, give this a try for a week or two and you'll get used to it. No problem. Whether you like chunky necks or very thin necks, I think this will suit you really well. If we start from this side of the guitar, there's the Graphtec Tusk knot. Then there's 24 jumbo stainless steel frets. Harley Benton has been using this blacksmith jumbo stainless steel frets phrase as of late, but I'm not sure what it means. Maybe we'll find out at some point. But blacksmith stainless steel frets. Roswell Alnico 5 humbuckers with some interesting switching options that we're going to dive into later. Then there's the Apollo Mono Bridge, and I think this is custom designed for this guitar, but don't quote me on that. And one of the things that I've been most excited about this guitar is the fact that it actually comes with a gig bag. Next, I want to show you all the pickup switching options, and as I mentioned, they work a bit differently here, and you're gonna see on the screen what's going on with each of these. Next, I want to solo out a few tracks from the song you heard at the beginning of this video and kind of demonstrate how this guitar and all the sounds I was getting from it kind of inspired me to dial in the certain sounds. So, what do I actually think of this guitar? First of all, I think they nailed the sound. It kind of sounds the way you want it to sound, so chunky! I also personally like the switching options. I think this guitar aesthetically goes for a certain type of player. The switching options go for the sounds that you would probably want to have in your music as well, so like bright, jangly cleans, and then you go to a chunky rhythm and stuff like that. I think it works. The overall build quality on this guitar is really nice. Even the fret ends are pretty nicely rounded up. They could use a little bit of polishing and maybe slightly more rounding up, but it's not an issue. And again, €399 that is. So that works. I really like the satin finish on the neck. I like the satin finish on the body as well. It just feels nice. The gig back, while not perfect or even like heavily padded or anything like that, is a nice touch because it's difficult to find aftermarket gig backs for headless guitars. So this is a cool touch. The guitar also comes with all the tools you need to adjust the things, so that's a nice little touch. And just overall, I think this guitar is a great deal. But from what I understand, one of the main ideas of these headless guitars is the fact that they're super light, they're really ergonomic, so you can play them like traditionally on the lap or in the classical position, and just the portability and all of that is the key. But this guitar isn't that light. Like this DIY kit Harley Benton over here that I painted in this lovely finish weighs pretty much the same as this headless guitar. And look at the size difference between the two. Like, actually this might be slightly heavier than this one, and this is kind of a full guitar with tuners and everything. So at this point we're kind of missing one of the points why you would get a guitar like this. And the second reason to get a headless guitar is the ergonomics. It's supposed to be very, very easy to play. But this one kind of isn't. As you can tell, there's no any kind of cut here or anything like that. So if you want to play this guitar in a classical position, it sits in your lap as your regular Strat, for example, would be. So kind of missing the point there. Then if we take a look at the neck joint, that isn't super ergonomic either. Like there's a little bit of cut here, which does improve the upper fret access, but not by that much. There's still quite a lot of neck joint kind of in the way over here. I'm okay with this, but I know some player will find this a bit limiting. Some people want to have really, really good upper fret access. I don't mind, but it's something you should be aware of. So my review of this guitar is that you shouldn't buy this for ergonomic reasons, but you should buy this for the vibe, so to speak. And what I mean by that is that there's nothing wrong in buying a guitar that just kind of looks-wise inspires you. I mean, this is still fairly comfortable to play, and as I mentioned, I love the sound that you can get with this for metal especially. So even though it doesn't come with all the ergonomic stuff or anything like that, I think Harley Benton has been really smart with this guitar, because a lot of people want something that looks like this, but they don't necessarily need all the cutaways or huge weight relief or anything like that. As I mentioned, I personally found this guitar inspiring just looks-wise and how it feels to play. It's also highly practical in my small studio because there's no headstock, obviously. And I actually enjoyed traveling with this guitar as well, because with this gig bag, like, this fits in our car trunk fine. We got a lot of stuff, we got 2 kids. And it was easy to fit this on top of all of the stuff in the car trunk. So yeah, it's practical in that sense as well. So is this worth the money? I'd say yes, but always be aware that with budget-friendly instruments like this one, the way they save money is through QC, or skipping steps of QC. That means that the one you get might not have been checked in Europe, for example, before it arrives to you. You might get one that comes straight from the factory, and there's always a chance there will be something that needs to be tweaked. But again, it's 399 euros, and even if you add a trip to a guitar tech to the price, you'll still probably be under 500 euros. So for that money, I think this is a really nice deal. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider giving this video a like, hit the subscribe button, just click all the buttons on the screen and good things will happen. Thanks for watching. I shall see you next time.